Hey there, today I have not one unboxing, but two unboxing. I've got an order from Unknown Comics and one from the artist John Tyler Christopher. So it came from the artist directly. So let's open these up and take a look and see what I got. All right, so I got these two orders. Let's go ahead and get the unboxing of the first order. I'm going to start with Unknown Comics here. So I'll put the JTC order aside. All right, got the nice standard Gemini mailer. And inside it looks like we've got a few books here wrapped in bubble wrap. Love it. Was not taped down to the Gemini mailer. That's awesome. One of my favorite things. Once you've got all of this very neatly and nicely packaged, you don't need to obsessively over tape it. So a little bit of tape here to keep the bubble wrap on the comics. And this is a small 3-book order of store exclusives. Now this I don't like. It's all taped together, so I have to start picking away at all this tape, so that'll just take a second here. Why don't I like this? Because here's the deal. So I have to either take scissors to this and cut into the edge of the book, and it's taped here and here. Or I have to sit here and pick with my fingernail to get this up, and then I'm pushing down into the books, so they're all constantly being hit together as I press down to get the tape. So this really frustrates me, and I don't know what to do to fix this problem other than sit here and pick at the Scotch tape until it's done. So, Unknown Comics, if you're watching this, please stop taping the books like this. It's awful. Just take a piece of painter's tape, wrap it around once or twice each side. Also, if you're wrapping it in bubble wrap and you're taping the bubble wrap to the books, they're not going anywhere. Can't stand this. So here's the problem. I don't know if I'm damaging the books right now. I won't know. So if it is damaged, it looks like Unknown Comics did it. I don't know. So after all this time, I have one of the 4 pieces undone. And I have to continue to put pressure and force on the stack of books in order to get the tape off because it's tape. Okay. 2 for 4, but I believe that the top and the bottom are not taped. So I think I can just open the books and sort of peel off the tape. I got tape all over my fingers. All right. I believe that I can just unfold it like so. And then just sort of pull the tape off this way. Oh my gosh. Okay. I think I finally am in. So you were already looking at the first book. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go through each book and do a little screening and inventory tracking as we go along, instead of looking at all the books first, talking about them, and then going back and screening them after the fact. So go ahead and do this at the same time. So I've got all of these little tiny pieces of Scotch tape everywhere. Okay, so I think I'm going to be okay. And yeah. So let's do this. So these 2 books I'll put aside. And we'll start with this one. And this one is, again, I think I opened quite a few from this artist, David Nakayama. This is the X-Men number 3. This is the Virgin variant by David Nakayama of X-23, Wolverine, Laura Kinney. She goes by a number of names, but this was just a fantastic rendition of this character, and with the color variant. I'm not sure what Nakayama is calling this specifically, but I wanted to get it without the trade because I think this would look great in a slab. So let's go ahead and open it up and see in what condition it looked like. And on the back, because I had to peel off the tape, this bag and board was damaged by me. So I'm going to go ahead and replace that too, which is fine. I don't mind. I was probably going to do it anyway. So I'm very carefully open the book and get rid of the bag and board. Let's take a look. So this looks really, really nice. Corner has, I would say, an acceptable amount of softening there. It's just a little bit of splitting from the cover, but it's really not bad. Top edge is super sharp. That looks really, really good. On the outer edge, outer corner is sharp. No bending or impact issue there. Really nice on the bottom as well, and this corner looks great. So let's flip it over, moving it back and forth in the light, and it has I would say the minimal amount of page waviness, but I don't get too crazy with that and feel like that needs to be pressed out. I really honestly believe that CGC, at least, I don't know about CBCS, they allow for that. It's just part of the book, and not really something that has to be pressed. I don't see any scratches on the back. Again, looks really, really nice. There is no spine wear or spine ticks anywhere, no folding. Really, really nice. So that is a 9.8 right there. And we'll go ahead and get this into the catalog. So I have my 2 orders here, all set up and ready to go. And let's get this book entered. This is X-Men number 3, so this will be fun to search for across all of Go Collect. I'm tempted just to skip it because you do end up kind of spinning through every X-Men number 3 in existence, including all the variations, Young X-Men, Astonishing X-Men. And sometimes it gets, there's 7 pages. So I'll probably go back and look at that some other time, just because it could take me 5 minutes just to find that one book. Okay, so this is X-Men number 3, and this one is not in here either. So this is one of those cases where sometimes the inventory on Go Collect and cover price show up later. So I'm just going to mark them as not in the system, and it's really okay. It's really, my Google Sheet is my master inventory. Go Collect and cover price are for secondary inventory and pricing and forecasting. So I'm giving this a 9.8. And actually, before I do that, I'm going to erase the grade just to show you where Unknown Comics sits here. I have them as 6th overall. This is line 7, but the first line has the header. So they're 6th overall. Very quick story. I bought 2 short boxes from them a year and a half ago. At one point, Moneyball Comics was a Shopify store. And long story short, I was purchasing 2 short boxes of dollar bin books from Unknown Comics and wanted to then basically resell them as dollar books to generate interest in the store. So I wasn't going to profit from these. It was more like, hey, on my store, I have a online dollar bin of, roughly 300 books. So come check it out. And then in hopes that they would buy, customers would buy other books. It didn't quite work out. I didn't get a lot of traction on that and ended up pulling the store down and just went with a blog and YouTube channel instead. Anyway, so that's why there are so many. If you're like, did you really order that many books from Unknown Comics? I ordered 2 short boxes, 1 Marvel and 1 DC, and went through and personally screened each one. And to my surprise, for them being dollar books, they actually were in fairly high grade, average grade of 9.5252. So almost a 9.6, and got out of those 142 were 9.8s. So if they ever have that short box again, you could at least understand that you're going to get somewhere between 9.2 and 9.8 out of those books. They're not, and they were all moderns, I'd say, from the last few years. Okay, so that's not what we're here for. I just wanted to point out that they're pretty high on the list in terms of quality books. So right here, I have 321 total, 301 personally screened. So this should go up by 3 as I screen these 3 today. So now if we go back here and add the 9.8, we'll see it went up to 302 and their average grade jumped a little bit with now 143 personally screened. So that's how I keep track of the comics in the ledger. It just didn't quite work out with the Go Collect and Cover Price inventory. But again, that is okay. So as I put this in a bag and board, and I'm going to use a full bag for this one, I wanted to point out why I bought 3. A lot of these online stores, just like Unknown Comics, they will have a buy, some number of books, get one free. So they have a buy 2, get one free for these store exclusives. And ended up finding these 3 exclusives in particular that I really, really liked, and got 3. So I picked 2, then picked another one, got that one for free. That's clearly how it works. You didn't need me to explain that to you, but you just want to make sure that they're all equally priced so that you get the best value. But that's a gorgeous book, especially in the bag and board there. Just absolutely love it. So fantastic. All right, let's grab another one here. And this is the Sabine Rich Black Cat number 9 exclusive. Again, this is a virgin cover. I probably don't really need to describe it in detail about why I bought it or how awesome it is, but I was sort of going for a 3-pack of virgin covers and paid a little bit extra for that that specific feature of the exclusive. Typically, the virgin covers run a little bit more than the standard trade or minimal trade, and with that buy 2 get 1 free, I was able to knock down the price and get them for more like typically what you would pay for the standard cover. So let's look at this. I would say the top, I'm a little bit concerned with that corner there. I don't think it's really out of the ordinary, but I would say the book has to be pretty much perfect elsewhere to not get a 9.6. And just going up and down the spine right now, it looks great. This looks like a fold, but it's art. It's part of the watercolor that Ms. Rich used. A little bit of splitting here down the spine as we go down, but I think that's okay. Right, that corner looks to be better than the top corner, so I think we're all right. Bottom edge looks really, really great. So does the corner. And the edge looks fantastic. Moving it back and forth in the light. Hopefully you can see there's no scratches. Really no other damage. So that really looks amazing. Now just turning it over before I start sweating. And again, looks great. Nothing on the edge. I don't know if you can see anything there. Little bit of an issue maybe right there. It's very minor. Very minor. In fact, I think right there, there's something, but it's very, very tiny. Hairline at best. So I think we're in good shape to also give this a 9.8. So that is fantastic. That's one of my favorite Black Cat covers right there. And it looks especially better in a 9.8. So fantastic. Now let's get this one in here and see if Go Collect and Cover Price behave on this. So this is Black Cat 9. No, unfortunately, it is not in Go Collect. How about Cover Price? I couldn't remember if that was the 2020 or it is the 2021. Now, this is crazy that, in my opinion, Black Cat 9 has 2 of the best Black Cat covers, maybe of all time. The Sway version here, and then the Sabine Rich. Just amazing. So I'm going to go ahead and add this one as a 9/8 to my inventory. I mean, she has so many great covers by great artists: Hughes, Dodson, Sway, now Rich. Just fantastic. All right, and this was purchased way back on August 13th. I received this middle of last month in September 2021. I just didn't get around to opening it. So I'm playing catch up a little bit here. All right, so that is entered into cover price, but not go collect. So I will indicate that here and keep that 9.8. Now, I too am going to give this one the fullback treatment. And I'm always writing on the side with the textured side. So the smoother side will go against the comic. So what I've often wondered is, you know, I'm buying these store exclusives for the covers. I get these 9/8. They're not really, I would say, there's not a lot of data on these values slapped in a 9/8. And part of me is like, well, I should send them in anyway, or go back through and just grab all the 9/8s. Like this one, this doesn't need a press. There's not. It's clean. I know this is going to get a 9/8. Why not send it in? My only fear is really the value. And again, if you're buying store exclusives, like this one, gorgeously now placed in the bag and board, it's gorgeous art to get slabbed and hang on a wall or put on display, and it's really not about the value or the investment. So I'm a little bit torn there in terms of, you know, I invested in the book raw, and then I invested again if I were sending it into CGC, and I'm probably overthinking it. But the point is, do you want to find books with value and hope they get a 9/8, or if you have these covers that you love, that you know for a fact in your heart and your mind it's a 9/8 all day long, go ahead and send that in, and maybe it picks up a little bit of value down the road. But honestly, as we move on to the last book, this Stephanie Hans variant of Hellions 15 is also another just fantastic cover that I wanted to get without the trade. I don't know where the trade is. There's a giant X somewhere, or Hellions goes across. And the other two books, as well as this one, kind of suffer from the same thing, which is it's amazing art where the trade sort of takes away from the art itself. So Stephanie Hans, one of my favorite artists, really, really fantastic book here. Let's open this up and see what Hellions 15 got as far as the grade goes. And I'm going to push the tape back down because I'm replacing these anyway. And I don't want to tape pull as I remove the book. So now I can safely remove it straight out. And let's take a look. So this one has a little bit of a fold, probably hard to tell, but it's a slight welling that's going on right in here, right across her torso, right there, as you could see. So it's not a dent, and it's not a very deep fold, but it's not flat. It's not completely flat. So that's something I'm going to have to think about. The corner, it's kind of similar to the previous book, the Black Cat book. Right there is a little bit of splitting. It's acceptable, though. I want to say this is worse than the other one, or, you know, at best or worst the same. Down here in this corner, there is an issue right there. I think even with my thumb, if I do this, it will go back to normal, but it's still split a little bit there. So 2 corner issues, a little bit of folding. I'm leaning 9/6 on this one already. Otherwise, I think it's going to be great. The corners look great. The edges are really, really sharp. Moving it back and forth in the light, I really don't see any other scratches. That waviness that you see is, again, that's typical. It's nothing that you're going to get dinged on if you sent this book into CGC. Looking at the back, same thing. Some minor waves, but really, it's fine. Corner on the outside looks sharp. Edge is really, really sharp. No real issues otherwise. Let's look at the spine, and then we're done with this one. That's okay. That what you see there on camera, that's just from the staple kind of pulling the paper. Again, that's perfectly fine. You're not really going to improve that with a press. You probably would further damage the book. Okay, so on this one, this is borderline. And this is one of those where I sort of classify it as, you know, are you going to get your professional grader on a good day or a bad day? Because there's no such thing as a 9.7. So that's what I would give this book. It would be a 9.7. I personally think it's still a 9.8 just because of what I've seen. Like if I'm grading this for myself, like would I be fully confident and send this one in? I don't think so. I love the book. I love the cover. But I feel like it would be a 9.6 with a press only to prevent me from thinking it's a pure 9.8 and sending it in. This part is what concerns me. It's hard to see on camera, but the welling or folding right there, you can see it. It's going from just about her neckline here all the way down the book. It's going all the way down to the bottom edge right there. So that, because that is, that's like 6 or 7 inches of the book. I feel like I have to give it that 9.6 with a press, and I'm fine with that. That's really okay. To get 2 out of 3 and a 9.8 is a great percentage. So let's leave that as a 9.6 with a press to get at, and the press would take care of that. And then the corners, I think, assuming that the book is really flat, it's crispy, on all the other edges and corners. So I think that the press would be able to bump it up to a 9.8. So this is Hellions 15. I had to cheat and look because since it's the virgin cover, I don't know. It's on the back, but I didn't want to pick the book up again. So this is in Go Collect, no photo here. And this is under Generations 2 Inferno. This was purchased on August 13th. Give it a 9.6. And if you're playing along at home or categorizing your books, even if the book is raw, I still pick the graded label that you would get for your book, which in my case, it's CGC Universal. You can also pick CBCS, PGX, and other grading companies. But again, I use Go Collect to anticipate me sending this book in for grading. And if it got a 9.6, it would be in that universal label. So I use that to evaluate whether or not I should send it in. This was purchased from Unknown Comics. So this is Hellions 15. And this is the Stephanie Hans Virgin. And not a lot of data on these. That's okay. I didn't buy it for the data. I didn't buy it for the speculation or the investment here, other than it being just fantastic art from one of my favorite artists. And I think if that's what you're doing and you're genuine and you're pure about your purchases and your collection, and you're not trying to buy these to flip or just make a quick buck, I find that I'm a happier collector. And why do I keep bouncing back there? Because I'm trying to talk. August 13th, trying to talk and type and click at the same time. But I find to be much happier. Like I'm concerned about what I paid, of course, but it doesn't matter to me. I got 3 books in high grade from Unknown Comics, and all from great artists, great art. So I'm very, very happy with this. And don't really care if these have value on the secondary market or not. Just really, really happy to get these from Unknown Comics. So that was the unboxing and screening from Unknown Comics. It was a 3-book order, and it was a buy 2, get 1 free. So now I'm going to move on to the unboxing of the John Tyler Christopher Artist Direct order. Okay, so this is the John Tyler Christopher Artist Direct order. Let's go ahead and unbox this. All right, so the inside, this cardboard has the comics affixed to it. This was not taped down to the box. Get rid of the box. And let's see. So Scotch tape kind of came off of here. Let me peel this off to get the comics off of the cardboard here. And this is a, it's 2 books. They're the same. When you'll see here in a second which books they are, you'll recognize the cover, hopefully, especially if you're a Jean Grey Phoenix X-Men fan like I am. I could not pass these up, upside down. Top one is anyway. So yeah, this is the Jean Grey Phoenix Negative Space. And there were several versions of this, different colors. There was a white and a gold, I think, and then green. And I think the green had the highest print run. And I missed out on the others. I remember trying to check out at the John Tyler Christopher store site, and like as I was checking out, I got to the payment screen and it was like, oh, these items have sold out, so we've adjusted your cart. And I was right to put in my credit card or PayPal information or whatever. So not that I settled for these. I believe I had one in my cart. I had like one of each color or something like that. I don't quite remember. But once the others started selling out, I just decided to get 2 of these. Again, hoping that one of them would be in a 9/8. At least one, so that if I were to get this slabbed and hung on the wall, I wouldn't be disappointed and had a better shot at getting a 9/8 if I got a couple. So I got 2. So let me open these up, put one aside, and we'll start with one. And it is X-Men 19. That's what got the John Tyler Christopher Negative Space treatment. So as we go through this, let me get this out of the way so we can get some focus. It's funny, it picks up the face on camera and not necessarily the corner. There we go. So the top corner has a little bit of a ding on there, just slightly, not bad. Spine looks okay. There is some white along the spine. I have, through experience, understood that is okay. It's not a total spine split issue. Bottom corner looks super sharp there. That looks good. Moving it back and forth in the light, I don't see any scratches or any other dents. So that's also a good sign. So it's looking pretty good. Looking right there to see, is that a problem right there? I don't think so. I'm just not sure what that is. It could just be part of the art. I'm not exactly sure. Or a fingerprint or a smudge, but I don't believe that's a problem. That corner, look at that corner. That's super sharp. It's like it came right off the press. Okay, so here's the issue that I just saw. So right across Gene, right up here by the Phoenix logo, I'm going to try and get this right in the light. Or I might have to angle it this way. Right there, almost like in her armpit. There is a scratch that is going, here, maybe right here is better. Yeah, see that right here? Right there, right where my fingernail is, right across here. There is a scratch that is going entirely across the whole book. And it's very difficult to get this on camera, but hopefully you saw it there. It's very minor, but it is a scratch, and it's going across the whole book. So, as I've come to understand, with a vertical scratch, that's a 9 on a perfect book. A horizontal scratch, I don't know, but on the back there is the same scratch. There, right there, and that is going up and down the whole book. Now that you can see, right in here. right by the spine, going all up and down. So, 2 scratches. So what is 2? If 1 scratch is a 9, what's 2 scratches? An 8? I don't know. I'm going to give it an 8.5 just to be on the safe side, but that's really disappointing. And I'm, again, hyper focused on that because of that Kanto issue that I got back from CGC where they said that there was a scratch. And because there's a scratch, then I can't give it a 9.8. So I'm going to adjust the title here, X-Men number 19. So that's crazy disappointing. X-Men 19. And I'm curious to see if the other one has the same problem. Again, I doubt this will be in Go Collect. That's a cool cover of Rogue. Not going to waste your time here scrolling through Go Collect, but yeah, I don't see it. How about cover price? X-Men 19. Okay. So it wasn't gold, it was red. So there was the red, the white, and the green, and I had one of each color in the shopping cart and sold out. I really didn't have a favorite. I loved all of them equally. I thought they were all great. And the white, I think, was the most rare, and then the red, and then the green, limited to $20.99. So I'm going to give this one an 8.5, and I will note on the back of the board that there are front and back cover scratches across the entire book. Now, do I believe that John Tyler Christopher himself or somebody working with him actually scratched the book? No, I believe it's manufacturing. But that is one thing that I don't think CGC cares about in terms of giving you a pass. If that's a scratch, it's a scratch. So this was purchased back on August 5th. Again, I received it in September, but I'm just now here in October going through this. This is a new location, and I think I classified it just as the artist name. And we'll save that. All right, so I didn't put it in Go Collect, didn't find it, cover price, and 8.5. So, it's tough because it's not necessarily the store's fault, question mark. This is a tough one, right? So do I believe that the store scratched the book? No. Do I believe that the store looked at every book carefully for damages? No, I don't think they did. I think that, in general, they don't have time. You're talking about 2,100 of these. Not that John Tyler Christopher sold them all himself, personally. But they're not going through the books at this. They don't have time to go through the books in this level of detail. So I'm going to give it an 8.5. Front and back cover scratch is okay. So then that way I'll know for next time. I don't put grader's notes in Go Collect or cover price. It's easier for me just to grab the book and I go, oh, maybe I should get this one graded. Oh, wait, what happened to this? And then I realize I can't press that. So again, I don't expect them to look at every book like this. I really don't. But on the other hand, it's disappointing because there's really nobody to blame. It's just a gamble. It's just the, you pay the price, you run the risk, you buy online, and this is what you get. So the first thing I'm going to do is look at this, and this too has that same scratch. So it's going, and this one's a little thinner, probably almost impossible to show on camera, but right there, right by my index finger's fingernail, it kind of shows up in the light, but as I move it, it's not really showing up. So again, it's like, well, isn't that a 9.8? But this one also has a fold kind of up and down here that you can see. I mean, we can give a quick, it's going to be the same as the other one. Corner looks fine, spine is great, and this is sort of the quick once over. It does have a little bit of a bump here. Where'd it go? Oh, right here. Right there, there's a little bit of a push from the cover, as if somebody grabbed it with a finger to open it or something. But yeah, here's that line that's going up and down. And then on the back looks better than the other one, but I would say this is worse than the first one. Still might give it an 8.5. A little bit of a dent there. Oh man, well that's disappointing. I would almost say this one needs a press, but it's not going to matter because of the scratch. I'm just staring at it, wishing the scratch would disappear, but the scratch is basically going right across here, all the way. I don't see the vertical scratch, I just see the vertical fold. So in a way, I want to give this a 9, and I think that's what I'm going to do. I would say if it's a horizontal scratch, it's probably just a 9.2 if the rest is perfect, but with all of the other little minor imperfections here and there, I'm going to give this one a 9. Even though in general I'm finding more defects on this one than the other, but those could be pressed if I absolutely had to, but it's not worth it to me to have a modern book like this pressed, because it is what it is. So I'm giving this one a 9. Oh, let's go back. And it's getting the 9 because of the one horizontal scratch and a vertical defect that's going down that could be pressed. So it'll be a 9.0 with an indication for pressing. So that's a real bummer. I may just list both of these as a VF or VF plus and move on. August 5th, 2021. All right, and same as before in a 9.0. So that was a huge disappointment there. What are you going to do, right? That's what happens when you buy online. Will I send them an email and let them know? I don't know if they really care, honestly. So overall, I forgot to put the Hellions in here. This was both in Go Collect and cover price at a 9.6. So the Unknown Comics order, 2 out of 3 were a 9.8 for a 9.73 average, and the JTC store 8.75, and neither of those were 9.8s. So Unknown Comics got a little bit of a bump on their average grade, and their percentage of books also jumped, but not close enough to Things from Another World, but certainly staying well ahead of Comics Elite and Mutant Beaver Comics. So good for them. JTC, I may contact them. I'll let you know if I do, and if they write back with any comments, I will also follow up and let you know. But that's it for today. You had a 2 unboxing from Unknown Comics and John Tyler Christopher for a total of 5 books. Thanks for watching. Happy collecting, and see you next time.